head. It's me inside your head. It's me inside your head. That's really wrong.
That's right. That's us inside your head.
We're inside of everybody's head. Phones, if you're listening through headphones, because this is American Brews and Tunes. Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity baby dow. Holy guacamole.
What?
We've got chips.
We do?
Well, the Aquabats do. Wink, wink. Anyways, welcome back to American Brews and Tunes. This is episode number 71.
71?
Tons of
gosh.
fun on 71.
Wow, what a great rhyme.
You heard it here. You heard it first. Tons of fun on 71. Wow. Tune in to 71.
For tons of fun.
Yeah, and for this episode, of course.
Yeah.
Like we said last week, this is a one-off episode, which means we try one beer and we review one album.
Or in this case, one song.
Yes. This week we are reviewing the magnum opus by NOFX called The Decline. Ooh. While we touch upon that in a little bit, let's start on the one beer that we are trying this week.
Yeah, let's do it up.
We're trying something that isn't often distributed in Nashville. It's from the brewery Three Floyds. Have you ever had anything from Three Floyds?
Maybe they do the zombie dust, right?
Yes.
I think maybe I tried that before.
I had that on this podcast.
Oh, so
once.
yeah, I've
I think
tried
you sipped
that.
it. But I have had this beer long ago, but I don't recall much about it. So it'll be a nice revisiting, and I'm just really excited because this beer is not often available in Nashville. This is the Gumballhead. One word. Gumballhead.
I have A, never heard of this beer, and B, I really like the style of the label.
It looks like it was drawn with a crayon.
And it looks like it could have possibly been like a weird abstract cartoon from the 90s.
It looks like a cat smoking a cigarette in an astronaut suit, and his astronaut suit says FFF, I'm assuming for the Three Floyds.
Yeah.
And this is a pale wheat ale.
Pale wheat ale.
So that's an interesting style, is it
It
not?
also says it's not normal.
It's not normal.
It's not normal.
Yeah. They're from Indiana. They're a fairly respected brewery from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And here's what Untapped has to say about the beer. It says, an American wheat ale brewed with white wheat and dry hopped with hand-selected hops from the Yakima Valley.
Ooh.
Bright and refreshing with a lemony finish.
With the lemony finish.
So I'm ready for that lemon.
Nice. So am I, dude. I'm really ready for it.
The bottle cap is really cool looking too. I'm assuming that's what they put on all their beers because I've never actually seen any other ones bottled before.
Probably, yeah.
It's got this like spiral design with pink and green, and then in the middle it's got their logo. It says Three Floyds, and it's got some hands holding up some hops and barleys
And the 3 Fs.
Yeah. So interesting, huh?
Very strange. I like it though.
Yeah.
As you could maybe tell, I'm still getting over a cold.
Yes, you are. I can tell.
So, pardon me if I sneeze or cough or what's it called whenever you try to like this? Sniffle?
Sniff? Yeah.
I was gonna say snot, but
Sniffle's a good word. I
Yeah.
got the sniffles.
Sorry, I have the sniffles.
Why don't you put those sniffles to good use and crack the beer so you can sniff that?
Okay. I need a bottle opener.
Let me crack mine and pass the bottle opener.
All right. Wow. Thanks.
Already I can smell this beer. And
Really?
it smells like a pale ale. It has traces of what I would assume a lot like a lager to smell like, but
Okay.
you get that pale, like that slight hoppy flavor.
Oh, I smell it now.
It smells fairly good.
It smells really good.
It smells like fresh hops.
I had to put my nose directly inside the bottle to smell anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it smells fairly good.
It does. It has that really nice fresh hop smell that you want to smell, you know?
And
It smells like a hop cone.
Yeah, and this is a fairly fresh bottle. Like procured this about a week and a half ago, and it was a brand new shipment to Nashville. So I feel like we're in good shape here for a fresh beer.
Oh yeah, fresh.
What would you say about the color? It's a little hazy, which I guess would be the wheats are often unfiltered.
Yeah,
Not always. I can't say that all of them
I'm
are.
trying to
But
hold it up to the light to
this
see
one
if I
is-
can see anything.
it's very cloudy.
It's definitely a little bit cloudy.
Not super sedimenty, but it's definitely cloudy.
Definitely cloudy.
It's a nice. What
Nice,
color would you
I
say?
don't
Like
know.
yellow amber,
Yellow wheat color,
yellow wheat.
dark yellow,
It smells really good.
Tan.
It smells very clean.
tan yellow.
Tan
maybe?
yellow is a good one. It smells very clean.
It does. It smells very clean. It kind of reminds me of the smell of bearded iris whenever you walk in there.
Your grandfather smells very clean.
What is that from?
It's from the Beatles. A Hard Day's Night. Sorry to interrupt your.
very clean.
Did you ever see that?
No.
They're just like sitting on a train and there's an old man sitting with them. And they're like, who's the old man? And like, that's Paul's grandfather. And they're like, he's very clean. And everybody says that. It's just so weird. But you're saying about when you walk into Bearded Iris, you get that smell.
If any of you are from Nashville and you go to Bearded Iris and you walk in and you just get that nice hop aroma, that's exactly what this beer smells like.
You even get trace elements of it in the parking lot. But once you open those golden
Yeah.
doors, I think
That's
it's
just
actually a
one
black
door.
door, but
Just
You
one
know what I
door
mean.
as well.
that golden door,
That regular door
the proverbial gold door.
Yes.
Not in color, but in spirit.
in spirit, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it smells so good when you walk in there.
It really does.
But in the spirit of American Brews and Tunes, why don't we give this a cheers and try this beer?
Let's give it a try.
Okay. As we always say, down the hatch. That's very crisp, very light.
That is very crisp.
Not as like as far as the mouthfeel goes, not nearly as light as like some of the really light Belgians.
Yeah.
But it's fairly light, especially compared to all the stouts I've been having on this podcast lately.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. The mouthfeel is it's a little bit lighter than I was expecting, mostly because I was smelling those like really great hop smells.
They're definitely a
And
little
so I
bit
was
more
like,
aromatic
this is
than
gonna be a little
flavorful.
bit like bitter and hoppy, but it's
It's
not.
not. It's crisp, clean. There's a
It's
slight
really crisp.
sweetness in there.
I can get a tiny little bit of the lemon citrus. It's
yes,
nice.
it definitely has that lemon citrus.
It's
and
not overpowering. It's not like a line in Google's
It's just like the hop.
summer shandy or something like that.
Yeah, like the hop is not overstaying its welcome. It's not.
No.
It's not abrasive,
Nope.
invasive,
It's a great
or
beer.
disruptive. It's just there, and it's nice.
Fantastic. I like it
Very
a lot.
subtle and reserved, and it's very nice beer. Very good for a summer day, and we're in spring right now, so we're getting there.
Good for a spring day as well.
Good for a spring day, I might
It's
say.
good for a spring day.
Aye. Like always, if the flavor profile changes to us as it warms up, we'll let you know. Otherwise, shall we dive into the decline by NOFX?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yeah.
We shall.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Now, the decline by NOFX is technically an EP,
Technically, I guess.
but we're just gonna call it a single, just because we're reviewing the one song. When it was released on vinyl, it had the A side, which was entirely taken up by the decline on a 12-inch record.
How long is the song, Steve?
It is 18 minutes and 19 seconds.
Okay.
It's similar to Indigata da Vida by Iron Butterfly. I don't know if you know that song.
Indigata da Vida. Yeah.
Indigata da Vida.
Yeah.
That song's like only 17 minutes long, and that takes up the entire A side, which
Okay.
is just crazy. The B side of the decline is an alternate version of Clams Have Feelings Too, which is from their album
Wait,
Pump Up the Volume.
it's the song title is Clams Have Feelings Too? Or
T.O.O.
T.O.O. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the second time they did it.
No.
Well, I mean, because it is, you said it was an alternate, so I was like, oh, maybe the song is
Alternate
just called
version.
Clams Have Feelings.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This I keep wanting to call it an album, but let's just say this song came out in 1999.
Yeah, it's a song. I would say it's a song. It's just they have to put it on
An album, yeah.
like a full.
Yeah.
It can't be like a single, like a 7-inch single.
It was released in between So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes, which was from 97, and from Pump Up the Volume, which came out in 2000. And those two albums are probably my favorite sounding albums,
Yeah.
at least from a production standpoint. So Long Thanks for the Shoes had a great bass tone. I don't know if you ever checked that one out. It's
I don't
very
think so, no.
different sounding, the bass tone on there, but it's really cool. And I think Pump Up the Volume just is probably one of my favorites sonically. It just sounds really good. Might not be the best if you're going like objectively, but I like it the best. To me, it sounds, that's what my aesthetic.
Hey, you do you, man.
Yeah. Like I said, this is 18 minutes long and 19 seconds, which officially makes it the third longest punk rock song.
Oh, what are the other two?
The first is PMX's song, The Ballad of Tony Montana.
Really?
It's a long ballad. I mean, have you ever seen that movie, Scarface?
Yeah.
It's like a 2.5 hour long ballad, in the movie at least. But their song is 24 minutes and 4 seconds.
Okay.
The second longest song is by Crass, and the song is called Yes Sir I Will, which is about 20 minutes long. Punk rock songs are usually like 2 minutes
like
long,
30
3
seconds long.
Yeah, they're usually
30.
short. So anything that's over 4 minutes in a punk rock song is what I would call long.
Pretty long, yeah.
5 minutes, 6 minutes, you're like, whoa, this is really overstaying its welcome.
Yeah.
Then the decline pops in at 18 minutes long. You're like, whoa, what? Yeah, it's a long one.
You could almost say it's like 6 songs in one.
You could say that. Because of its bonus length, if you're ever at a bar where they have a jukebox, it's well worth your effort to go over and check to see if they have the decline, because everywhere we've been, it has the same dollar value as a regular song.
Yeah,
you
so
pop in a dollar.
It's like 2 credits or whatever per dollar.
You can pay your 2 credits for 21 Pilots' new hit song, or you can pay your $1 2 credits for The Decline by NOFX and have it be 4 to 5 times longer.
Yeah, and then I don't know if people like normally get annoyed whenever we do that.
I think they probably do. We go to this dive bar from time to time, and I feel like they're not punk rock lovers.
No, probably not.
And they have to suffer through like 20 minutes of punk rock.
Well, at that bar, they're normally either playing like country or
rock.
oddly enough, rap.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
And not like, I guess, I don't know, there's probably a different genre of rap they're playing, but it's normally, to my, as one who does not exactly know all the different subgenres in rap, I would call it rap, but it's probably some weird subgenre that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of subgenres, and we're not what you would call experts
in the rap field.
Yeah. I'm not really an expert at anything.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm not either.
I am an expert at being me. Actually, maybe not even that.
No, probably not.
We're not even experts at this podcast that we created. Far from it, actually.
But thanks for listening anyway.
Yeah, thank you, all 2 of you. Anyways, back to The Decline. This song's a slightly tongue-in-cheek political song. It observes the quote-unquote decline of America, or you could say society, domestically.
Slightly tongue-in-cheek, Steve.
Slightly. It's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
It tackles a wide array of topics, and I'm just going to list a few of them.
Yeah, it seems like through every verse of the song, it's a different story, or like from a different perspective,
subject.
or a different subject. Yeah.
They tackle things such as apathy, gun control, religion, blind faith, nationalism, drug charges, prison, suicide, opioid problems, which coming out in 1999, they're a little ahead of their time because the opioid epidemic is crazy now.
Yep.
Conformity, and of course, stupidity.
Yes.
And this is before they had their very political album, The War on Errorism. They were very strong opponents of the Bush administration. Like, they started the Rock Against Bush and all that stuff. So this was even before that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this came out after that, but of course it came out before. And I think a lot of these things definitely hold up today, at least from if you hold the same perspective as them.
Yeah.
It's very relevant today. Nothing's really changed.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I
don't think, at least.
Yeah, it seems like, in general, I think one of the lines in the songs kind of sums up, or maybe sums up the ethos of the whole song, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Sure we will. But before we touch on like more themes or ethos or pathos or egos or superegos or the id,
yeah.
I guess if I gotta pull all those 3 together.
The id.
Musically, I'd say this, well, not just I would say, I think a lot of people would say, this song is comprised of many different segments that kind of come together through various segues.
Yeah.
There are a few, maybe a couple repeating parts that you could call refrains.
Yeah, but
I'd say the main one is that trombone part that happens maybe 2/3 of the way through and at the end. Yeah. And that repeats maybe twice. But other than that, it's a lot of unique sections in the song.
Yeah.
And they just kind of come back. So you could almost split this up into a bunch of little songs, but they worked in ways to tie every section together. I think this song definitely showcases Fat Mike's bass playing abilities.
Yes, it does.
Which can often be overlooked. I wouldn't really say that he's a virtuoso on most NoFX songs, but
No.
he has the capabilities.
Yeah,
He's not like the bass player from a Wilhelm Scream,
right,
or any of those like super technical bass players, but he's a pretty darn good bass player.
Yeah.
And this song definitely has a lot of really cool bass lines. There's many segments in this song that are kickstarted by a new awesome sounding bass line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think my favorite is the one that goes diddle-a-doo, 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 doo-doo, diddle-a-doo, 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 diddle-a-doo. It's just
Is that
really
the one
cool
where
sounding.
he sings over that too, right? When
Yes.
he's playing that?
No, he doesn't.
Which is the one that he sings over when he's playing something crazy?
I'm drawing a blank, but I know there's one that he does. He plays a really interesting sounding bass line. If I recall correctly, I'm digging really deep into my thoughts here.
Okay.
He goes he's just going really, really fast back and forth on the bass.
I think you're probably right. I think that's exactly how it sounds.
Yeah, but he definitely does sing above that. And I had seen them play. Oh, I've seen them play a couple times, but the first time I saw them when I was in high school, they started playing this song, and I said to myself, surely they will not play this entire song. But lo and behold, 18 minutes later, I was awestruck that they had played the entire thing.
Nice.
And Fat Mike did all the crazy bass parts and sang over top of them.
Yeah.
If you ever want to watch live versions, there's a couple of really cool ones on YouTube you can look up, and they're worth checking out because the band does them justice.
Mm-hmm.
They recorded a couple live albums. The second being called the first one's called "I Heard They Suck Live." The second is called "They've Actually Gotten Worse Live." And on the second album, the very last song is "Sticking in My Eye," one of their popular songs.
Yep.
And after that song ends, they start playing "The Decline." And they make it about 3 minutes in, and then the album fades out.
Oh, really?
So I'm assuming they played the whole thing live, but it's such a tease for them to do that, just because they know you want to hear it.
From the videos that I've watched today, they said like they want to play that song in like every city, like at least like one time.
Yeah, I think I've seen them
at
say
least
that.
all the big cities. Obviously not in every city, but
crazy. Back to the music aspect, and I guess just the song in general. There's one quote, and I don't have it in front of me, but essentially what Fat Mike said was, writing this song and recording it was one of the most difficult things that they had done as a band, at least up to that point.
Yeah.
He said he is extremely proud of it, but he would never do it again and doesn't recommend that anyone ever try it.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a beast to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised. It really is.
Yeah, it would be a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Probably in the same type of vein as what Matt and Trey have to say about writing the Book of Mormon. And like how that was like so much more work than they thought it was.
But it was rewarding, but they would never do it again.
Yeah. So probably at least a little bit kind of similar in that way.
Yeah. As far as like stories go in this song, when they're touching on some different subjects, there's only two real characters that pop up.
Yeah.
One is Jerry and the other is Sarah.
Yep.
When I think of Jerry, I think of Jerry from Rick and Morty. Like the kind of idiot, who gets bad luck, and is unfortunate. And in this song,
like that is Jerry.
This is the drug, prison, and suicide portion of the song.
Yeah, so it tells the story of Jerry getting caught with a dime
of marijuana,
in Michigan, right?
Detroit,
and he gets sent to jail for 20 years for it.
And NoFX said Detroit carries 20 years, whereas California, a dime gets you a $20 fine.
Yeah.
He goes to jail, is physically abused, and commits suicide to escape it.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Sarah, the other character, is actually short for serotonin.
Mm-hmm.
Serotonin is a chemical in the brain that's like the pleasure chemical.
Yep.
It sends messages and receptors. And in the song, they say Sarah is gone.
Yeah.
The answering machine is there taking 10,000
Is left
messages.
on, yeah.
But yeah. So serotonin, everyone's like, when I think of that, I think people being like plugged into their TVs or being mindless and not really having that, not really being excited
Present.
or enjoying things. Yeah, but not being present.
Yeah.
So it's a clever way to personify. Is that the word? Personify serotonin?
Yes, that is the correct word.
As a person.
Mhm.
Personify.
Personify.
They personified serotonin.
But yeah, that's just a really interesting section of the song, really.
Yeah.
Or just that whole idea. And this was in the 90s?
99, yeah.
And so that whole problem, like you mentioned, phones or TVs or whatever, that's probably even more pervasive today than it was in 99.
Yeah, I think
with
so
all
too.
the increase in technology and whatnot.
When I think of that, like the mindlessness, the brainlessness in the 90s, I think of like the latchkey kids who would just sit on their couch and watch TVs.
Yeah.
And kind of the boob tube.
The boob tube.
Yeah. Now let's focus on some more themes, shall we?
Okay.
I'm just going to read off some of my favorite lines from this song.
Okay.
So I know you referenced a line earlier that you'd bring up later.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'll say it. I don't know.
You
if
might.
I do, let me know.
I'll just scream something if you do.
Okay. My first favorite line is the first line in the song. I think it's great. He says, "Where are all the stupid people from, and how'd they get to be so dumb? Bred on purple mountain range, fed amber waves of grain, to lesser human beings, zero feelings."
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to start off your big old song about America and the people.
Yeah.
Next, I really like the line where he says, "Add the Bill of Rights, subtract the wrongs, there's no answer." And then a little bit, he says, "We're living in united stagnation."
Stagnation.
So it's like, we're living in a nation, stagnation, which to be stagnant is to not be progressing or moving forward. You're staying still.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to read one more line that I really like.
Okay.
He says, "Place a wager on your greed, a wager on your pride. Why try to beat them when a million others tried?"
Yeah.
So just saying everyone else is going for greed and for pride. So why don't you join them? There's no sense in trying to fight it. Let's all be greedy and prideful. Yeah. And he refers to it as the greediocracy earlier.
Yeah, greediocracy. Yeah.
And on one of their other albums, the one that you reviewed, The War on Errorism, it makes me think of the mediocrity
Yeah.
that he always was talking about. Mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clever. I'm assuming none of those were the lines that you had in mind.
Did you hear me make any strange noises?
I mean, maybe it was a silent noise. Who am I to judge your noises?
No. The line that I really like, or actually the verse that I really like, it's kind of partially like a sobering truth that he's talking about, and also almost like a call to become more present and to become less attached or less like Sarah.
Oh,
in
that's
that
like
way.
Sarah. Serotonin, that is.
Yeah. The verse that I like is when he says, "And so we go on with our lives. We know the truth, but prefer lies. Lies are simple. Simple is bliss. Why go against tradition when we can admit defeat, live in decline? Be the victims of our own design, the status quo, built on suspect. Why would anyone stick out their neck?" So, like, he's, like, asking the question, like, why would anybody try to be different or try to live for what they believe in when it's so much easier to just go along with what everybody else is doing?
Conformity.
Yeah. So that you see what I'm saying? That was kind of like a call to action, but also like a sad truth of what probably most people do and what most people are.
It's true.
Yeah. And it's pretty easy to slip into that.
Classic America.
Yeah.
We're
Purple
all of us
mountain
as a whole.
ranges and
Amber waves of grain. We're drinking some amber waves of grain right now. Anything else to say about NOFX's, as I said, magnum opus, The Decline?
Just that it's a fantastic song.
Yeah, it's a rager.
I mean, yeah, it really is.
Do you have a favorite section in the song musically?
I honestly really like the sections between when El Jefe plays that jump 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 jump. The when it gets really slow and Fat Mike plays the boom 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 boom.
It's like, I wish I had a shilling for every killing. I'd buy a government.
I like those in between parts between the really fast parts.
Yeah.
Because you get really chill and slow in those parts, and then all of a sudden it's a really drastic change back to really fast punk beats, and it's awesome.
Maybe they did that so that they could get a breather when playing
Probably.
live.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
You can't play those fast punk rock drums for 20 minutes straight.
Oh man.
Well, maybe you could. I don't know. That just seemed like a really, really difficult thing to do.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we said this before, but if you ever watch a live video of NoFX play, their drummer Smelly is just sitting up there on the drums, it doesn't even look like he's putting any effort into playing the drums. He's just chilling out, just
Yeah, he's just sitting upright, and he just looks like he's playing a really easy song. And then when the song's over, you see him go.
He's like,
yeah, sits out a big old sigh of relief.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
I saw that one video that you were telling me about earlier.
Where he plays
guitar.
Yeah, there's a live video online. I think it's from 2018.
2015.
They're in Rio de Janeiro. Is that correct? I don't know. Somewhere in South America. And during the last segment of the song, when El Jefe, the guitar player, switches to the trombone, the drummer, Smelly, comes out from behind the kit, picks his guitar and starts to play. And I think the drum tech steps in to play the drums for the rest of the song. But he's playing guitar.
It's just really funny. There was one point when he was facing the drum set and he was just shaking his butt.
Yeah, he was just loving it. It was so funny.
So funny.
Oh man, what a good song.
Man. So funny. Yeah. So yeah, give that song a listen.
Yeah.
I've
got nothing bad to say about it. I think it's a fantastic song. It's worth listening to multiple times.
Yeah.
It's worth putting on any jukebox where there's a jukebox available. It's worth $1.
That's seriously the best way you can spend $1 at a bar.
Yeah.
Or where there is a jukebox.
Unless you find a really funny song, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about the beer?
I think the flavor has stayed fairly straightforward.
Yeah, I guess
it's pretty good.
Since it's a shorter episode, it didn't warm up too terribly much.
But I feel like even if it did warm up, it would still taste fairly similar. Maybe the body would get a little bit more thick.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel
lemony.
like the flavor profile probably would have stayed pretty similar.
Agreed. Looking forward to next week. We're going to return to the regular format of the episode in which I recommend an album for Jesse. He does the same for me. And then we come back, review those, and we review 2 different beers.
Oh, yeah.
For you, I am going to recommend The Hand That Thieves by Streetlight Manifesto.
Clever name.
I guess it's clever. I don't know. They're a great ska band from... You know what? I don't know where they're from. But that is not the most...
Aren't they from California?
I think they're from Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
Maybe the
I have no idea.
greater Boston area, perhaps? I'm not sure. I think, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. And for you, I'm going to be recommending the album Lonesome Dreams by Lord Huron, which I know you're just super excited for, Steve.
Is that like Lake Huron?
Yeah, exactly.
Classic.
No. But anyway, that is going to be for next week. And just another note for any of you returning listeners, if you would like to recommend an album for us to do for a one-off, feel free to message us on the good old FB,
Facebook,
or Instagram. And just make sure to be like, hey, I listened to your podcast. I would like you guys to listen to this album. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Because, believe it or not, we get a lot of weird spam messages.
Get a lot
on Instagram.
Mainly let us boost your followers.
Yeah. Or, hey, guy, go to my website. And it's a picture of a pretty lady. And you're like,
a trashy
no,
lady.
Thank you.
You can also reach us on Twitter.
Yes.
Or you can email us at americanbrewsandtunes@gmail.com. .com. Do we have any other housekeeping stuff?
I don't think so. Just say thanks for listening if you do. We appreciate it. We appreciate you all. All of you, even you, that one guy from North Dakota, Steve, what was his name? They're a fictitious person from North Dakota.
They're not fictitious, but what's his name?
You know who you are. Guy in North Dakota.
You know who you are. Anyways, let's say that we finish these beers and sign off.
Let's do it up.
Once again,
Cheers.
down the hatch. Delicious. My name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
And this is American Brews and Tunes.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-da.